Introduction to it because it was written about us, and of course, you know, aren't all our songs written about us, but this specific one tells a little bit of a story about what was happening when we joined Fleetwood Mac. So it started with Lindsey Buckingham lived in San Francisco his whole life, and Stevie Nicks lived in Los Angeles for 2 years and got, well, that's not all I lived, but you know, 2 years, for my first and second year in high school. And my family got transferred out to San Francisco. So I met him once when I was a senior and he was a junior, 17 and 16. And we sang a song. And then he disappeared into thin air and I never saw him again until the end of my second year in junior college. And I got a phone call and they said, "Do you want to join our band?" And I said, "Well, sure, absolutely." And minding the fact that we lived in San Francisco, where it was like the most amazing place. It was like the mecca of music. It was Woodstock. It was all those great San Francisco bands. And so they were already good, and we just got better. And so all of a sudden we were opening for these very, very big acts. I'm not really bragging, but sort of 75,000 people for Jimi Hendrix at Santa Clara Fairgrounds. Janis Joplin, 30,000 people at Frost Amphitheater, Stanford University. We opened for Santana and Carmel and Monterey right before Woodstock, like days before the movie Woodstock came out. We opened for Chicago at the Fillmore West in San Francisco. We opened for, well, not only did we open for, but we got stuck in Lodi with Creedence Clearwater. So it was like amazing, you know, and we got the perk of being 8th on a bill is that in those days they let you stand on the side of the stage, which they probably wouldn't be doing now, but they did then. So Lindsey and I got to really soak in all the wisdom and amazingness of these artists, and they were all there. So anyway, we made pretty good money. And even though I was going to college, my parents were supporting me. I got to save that money, and my mom didn't take it away from me. So I heard that there was a rumor that there was this great store in San Francisco called the Velvet Underground. And that at the Velvet Underground there was all these amazing clothes, and that's where all the rock and roll women, the famous ones, went to buy their clothes. And even some of the rock and roll guys. And so I saved up my money and I buzzed up there in my Corvair Monza Spider convertible, candy apple red, black interior. There I am. And I found the store and I walked in and it was this tiny little store. I expected a big, huge, you know, store, tiny. And a hand-painted floor. It's beautiful. And I'm standing there going, looking at everything, going, I can't afford anything here. This is ridiculous. But right then I had like this seizure premonition. And all of a sudden I just saw the future, and I swear to God, I went, something really big is coming, and it's gonna probably be rock and roll in some way or shape or form, and it's gonna happen. And what I realized when I walked out of that store was that my life changed that day, and I had a whole new attitude. And when I walked out of there, I went back to where we lived, a different girl. And so anyway, the reason I'm telling you this story is I want you to know that if you have a dream and you do something that you want to do and everybody tells you, you can't do that, you have to just tell them, oh yes I can, because we are living proof that dreams come true and that you can just be a kid and want something that's so big and grand and everybody else can just completely blow you off and say you can't do it. You just have to say, get out of my way, and you have to do it. So I'm back to the Velvet Underground, back to the floor that I loved, back to a room with some lace and some paper flowers, back to the gypsy that I was.